friend of mine, a teammate from my youth football team, the SLCYFO Raiders. We used to play an interleague. So we were the Raiders, Pee Wee team. He's a year older than me. He told me this, and he comes from a family of men that wouldn't play college football, professional football, worked in corrections, worked in K through 12 education, football coaching at the youth and high school level. He said this. It was probably a Friday night, like a Friday fest downtown Fort Pierce, or a youth sports gathering, or a community event. He was told this. He said, "Look at the parking lot where you work. Look at the cars, and that's about where your life will be." When he was at local jail corrections, the cars, the top was probably a mid $30,000 car. Meanwhile, you around the higher education space, you'll see what some of these guidance counselors drive, deans of students drive, the principal, the assistant principal, the curriculum and instruction specialist is different. So it's not this job versus that job, but if you're really seeking a higher quality of life, check it out. So, as an honest observation, I see my supervisor at this current state college capacity. She drives an Infiniti sedan, sports sedan. Cool young lady, a little older than me, good leader, showing me things, how to do things. Just happened to see the car. She ain't ashamed of it. She ain't hiding it either. And trust me, I'm pro prosperity. I want you to have what you have. I'm for it. And what really made me say I should go ahead and drop this, and I probably said it before. When I saw the chef, Chef Leia has left us to go to work in Okeechobee, but Chef Michael is here. I saw Chef Michael driving off so smooth, not not in the look at me fashion at all, because he's a jokester anyway. He reminds me of my physics teacher from the 11th grade, Mr. Carney. I had to bring up. He looked like somebody I know, and he looked a shorter version of Mr. Carney. I see Chef Michael drive off in an Audi A5, so cool, and that lets you know people are serving of people, but they're living a good life, and it look like they're not overwhelmed, overworked, concerned about how they're gonna pay for it either. Yesterday's encounter, Kim, district manager, I can tell she got paper. She well put together, clean white teeth, nice trendy outfits. It's one of those things to where these are people in this Mets culinary management at Indian River State College. That's just one example of I ain't seen what she drive. I already know what time it is. It's probably amongst the best of domestic or foreign just to do it. I like to see that. I didn't know that. Mind you, this is an alley oop from a temp job. And I was blessed to go to college and graduate at the University of Southern Mississippi. I saw how the university president, the deans of students, the people within the Department of Athletics, especially football, I keyed in on football because I had just played my time of football in high school, hoping to play at that university. That didn't quite happen, but people out here living good. So don't shortchange yourself. You do what you got to do. You work where you got to work, but just observe. And some people aren't paying attention because sometimes you can be in some capacities where you have leadership, management, administration. This isn't a judgment of them and their worth, but you'll look for good days, bad days, good moment, bad moment. You'll look for all that they got to put up with internally and externally, meaning their people, including someone like me, someone who works with and for them, and the customers and the complaints. It's like either they being economical or this don't pay much. So that's just an honest assessment for all the people out there. If you out there 40 and younger, this for everybody. If you're 40 and younger like I am, think about it. Are you gonna toil and not get much for it, or are you gonna be amongst people that the car is one thing, but it's the compensation. My friend James Mons also talk about that. The time. To have the time off. Do you get any holiday time and get compensated for it? Is there a retirement plan? Are there any certain discounts or perks? Are there are there chances to get your college paid for if you want to continue education? Every organization and every employment is not offering that. It don't mean it's no good, but it's a part of setting goals. And I'll tell you, being back in a restaurant, a corporate restaurant again, it's a revolving door. And I've been in other forms of employment where it's a revolving door. Even a local county job. Now, you have people that be there 10, 15, 20, 25 years in that county clerk of court capacity. But, oh, there was some Fridays where one, two, three, four, five people were let go or just either resigned or just that day quit for some disagreement. Now that's a low amount compared to, I'll give you the example of the restaurant. When you're working with somebody and you don't quite see them working with you on shifts, oh, they're not there anymore. And there's always these interviews, and sometimes bosses laughing it up like this person's replacing this person. I know how to stay respectable in my place, but it's almost how good a job you want to do and endure and work as unto God, not as unto man, how long you stay there. And they looking out for you. You getting your check cut. You getting your benefits. They have benefits, corporate restaurant like so, but overall, what you want your life to look like, and even the conversation currency. You'll hear, because I worked at a K through 12 school. I was blessed for 10 months. You hear more along the lines of engagement, marriage, happy about the new baby's arrival, purchase of a home, sale of a home. It ain't perfect now, but you will hear these things. Completing the next degree, completing the certification. Meanwhile, you'll be at a retail capacity, a grocery store, a restaurant, it's rent, or maybe profiling someone, sizing someone up. He ain't got no bills, he ain't got no kids. I'm learning to grow through this, not say too much, not to get hemmed up, be at odds with people. Sometimes just shut my mouth. Participate when wisdom and the okay of the Holy Spirit of when to participate in the conversation, when to answer that, when to just let them talk. Even if you being dragged, let them talk. Now, it ain't gonna feel good all the time, but yeah, the conversation will go like baby mama, baby daddy, child support, fool around, things of that sort. The conversational currency different. It doesn't make a person a better person because they got this education, and this person a worse person because they don't have this education. Sometimes people are capped out over here at this entry level or this retail, and they had to go do what they had to do, and they have to every week, every bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, got to keep doing what they got to do, and years go by, and they're not really living their dream life. That's why I'm bringing this up. But meanwhile, you'll see someone in certain capacities, an academic job capacity, a more family oriented, a good organized family company that is multi state with benefits and all of that. You see their life growing. They're buying houses, investment properties. They're talking about the vacation, a good one too. Planned, you know, something good. Memories made, pictures to share. You might even hear them talk about, like in construction, for example. I had a little window of that. You hear the person that's the general contractor working for a company, how he and the wife are starting their corporation. and getting the funding right, and they're gonna have their own corporation. Like it's the paths of growth. That's why I'm bringing this up. So be mindful of that, especially all the people. If you 25 and under, what I told you, what James said. Look at that parking lot. Like you should never be jealous. You can have it, but when you see your leadership riding nice like that, and you ain't really heard a complaint of how they gonna pay for it, they doing good. You didn't know they had it. You just happened to see it. But if you happen to find yourself in a place where folks barely have, thank God they have, and they're confident in it. But there's a lot of dog in the people. Shade, salt. You really want to hang out in that for 20 years, 40 years? Think about it. It's your life.